hear me? Yeah. All right. Before I get rushed by the stage, well, from Firwood staff, I have cleared this with Snoot. This is not Noble Six's testimony. This is Jayson's testimony.
Let's go.
Like many of you, I also had the religious background, church, Bible study, private school maybe, and that's actually how my family got to, at least half my family got to Hawaii. So my mom's side, my grandpa's a pastor and a missionary. My grandma's also a missionary. And on my dad's side, they're Catholic too. So I grew up with all the same religious stuff that you guys did, you know? It's like every Sunday go to church, every Wednesday go to church. But it kind of got to a point where it all became kind of routine. You know, I believe what Jesus did for me. I believe that God exists, but growing up, I never really felt that sorry, I'm a bad speaker, but I never felt that defining moment in my faith until later in my teens. For context, my parents split when I was too young to remember, and my mom ended up marrying my stepdad when I was 8, and he wasn't good to me, to be like. At age 12, I moved from Hawaii to Arizona because he's in the Air Force, and the entire time from 8 to 16, he was neglectful. Like everything you could get away with legally, he did. The bare necessities growing up that every kid should have. You know, I had a roof over my head, but I didn't have a room. I had a couch. The bathroom was locked. I didn't, buy the food. I couldn't eat it. So I kind of like fend for myself for most of that time. I spent the majority of 5 years locked down to Davis Mountain Air Force Base in Tucson, only spending time out of it for less than hours at a time, if I'm not heading to San Diego for vacation during the summer. But it got a lot, to deal with. And I reached the point where I almost made those one-way trips. I don't think I gotta explain to you guys what that means, but I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. But I almost made that one-way trip around 6 times. And I hadn't found the notes to show it, but I never went through with it. Obviously in here, but it was rough. And through some stupid, selfish, human kind of mentality, I just felt alone because I felt like it was my issue, my trouble. Only I have to deal with this, So I didn't ask anyone for help. On top of that, my family's hands are tied. My mom had sole custody over me, so they couldn't do much legally. My friends, they're as old as me, can't do anything about it. School, same thing. And I actually ended up calling CPS. If you don't know, it's Child Protective Services, because I had no way out. They came, they made the report, and it turned out that, since my stepdad's in the Air Force, he is like, embarrassed him at work and this and that, and it just made him look so bad. So it just made my life at that house, I am not calling it home, it just made it that much horrible. And I was literally at the end of my rope. It wasn't until one night, kneeling down in front of my couch, my dog on my right, I'm like, God, please. The first time I asked you for anything in like so many years, I need a way out. And it didn't sorry. It didn't come quickly, but it came. That prayer was answered a couple months later. My grandpa called me. He was like, me, your mom's brothers have convinced your mom to let you come back to Hawaii. That was my way out. I took it, went back home, and I put another mask on, because my friends are asking me, we haven't talked to you for 5 years. How have you been? How's Arizona? This and that. And they're like, I just lied to them, you know. Oh, it was all right. Ah, it was pretty fun. You know, they knew me as smiles, laughs, a lot of dumb jokes. Pretty sure a bunch of you here can't know that as well, but that's how they knew me. That's how I let them know me. And all of that changed all of that didn't change until senior year. Part of my old high school is every graduating senior has to write a senior testimony and say it in front of the entire high school. And I wrote it, and came time to say it. And the people who loved me the most that night, my friends I've known since preschool, people I didn't tell at all, they heard everything. Every single thing that I should have talked to people about, everything that I should have told them, everything that was just unprocessed, I just let everything out, you know. And it was that grace of God that let me out of there, you know. He was the one to answer my prayer, to let me see the next day, you know. And part of that was I wanted to pay it forward. The same kindness that was shown to me, part of that was getting this tattoo of mine. Permanently marking myself for the rest of my life. This is not just some simple, you know, Polynesian tattoo, Hawaiian tattoo. You guys think it's cool because Jayson, The Rock, you know. All those guys have it, but everything that they have, every single piece is a part of their story. So The Rock, chest plate and his sleeve, that's his life, that's his family. This is me. My entire story for that 5 years, no, actually 8, from having all that neglect and all that, you know, all that bad stuff up until making it out. The upper arms indicate strength. Spearheads ferocity. You know, my wheels through guts make it to the next day. Turtle shells, they live for a long time. That's like my new life after, you know, God helped me out. Seashells, prosperity, the ability to smile every day and, like, you know, be able to just be happy for once. All of these symbols mean something. So this is me. This is my proof to not only, like, myself that I made it out. This is my proof to everyone that I've ever came across to be like, God help me, so I can help you too. And I've used it before. People I may never see again. It could be like at the airport, at the gym, at a restaurant. Like, oh, that's a cool tattoo. What does it mean for you, right? And I tell them what it means and what happened. And I may not be the one to lead them to God, but I could be the one to help them in, like, my small way that I can, you know. The staff here know it, but I do simple point thumbs up. Are you good? I do that because I don't want anyone to feel alone how I was for so many years. The worst thing that could happen is just sitting there alone and just thinking that you have no one else with you, you know? Because that darkness, it can and will consume you. If you just, like, keep it in, don't keep it in. All of you, I'm asking you right now to just, you can leave it to God, and that's great. But even then, they would have to pick up the stone to defeat Goliath. Reach out to your friends. You know, let them know they can come to you. And just, you guys aren't alone, man. Even in your darkest moments, even like you think that all else is lost and you have nothing else, you know that there's someone standing beside you every single day, every single second. When you wake up, if you go to bed, same thing the next day. God is with you. Remember, you are loved by your friends. You are loved by your family. You are loved by the staff here at camp. You're loved by your cabin mates. You're loved by God most of all. So, all you guys, just please remember that. Thank you.
Jayson! Amen.